Hello, my name's Bruce Wally, Melbourne's happiest tram driver, and welcome to the family-friendly Tramily Pub Quiz. And this is number 4, and what a great event it's going to be tonight. It's sort of like a who's who quiz. And historic times, I don't know where you come from, but here in Melbourne, Australia, in this COVID year of 2020, we've had some relaxation of our rules for community here in Melbourne. Our number of cases per day have dropped below 50. We're sort of into a relaxation. We can now go outside for 2 hours every day. One person, not two, one person at a time, 2 hours a day. Children, however, can play in playgrounds, and isn't that a joy to see kids playing in the playgrounds? We still can't travel more than 5 kilometres, fortunately. My job's still running, yes, the trams are empty, and that's the reason why we're doing this quiz, because I've got barely anyone on a tram, and so to meet with you guys so we can get together, we're having a quiz. So that's what Tramily does. We want to get together, have some fun, and even though we can't be on a tram all together, we're going to do some quizzing tonight. So welcome aboard. Don't forget, today's Sunday. Don't forget that. Well, it's here Sunday here in Melbourne anyway. But whatever day it is when you're watching it, this Saturday, Sunday, Monday, it's only a week. The 27th of September is Distinguished Gentleman's Ride Day. Yes, if you're a petrol head like me, on 2 wheels, you want to get some places in the world to be able to meet together en masse. In Melbourne we won't be able to. It'll be a solo group ride, however that's going to work. But you can go onto my Facebook, find my, if you're on the line there in Facebook, just go to Melbourne's Happiest Tram Driver. You'll find a link and you can donate to help men live longer, because we want to help men. I'm interested in having men live longer, especially me at the getting near the end of my piece of string. I'm interested in it being as long as it possibly can be, and on 2 wheels that puts a big smile on your face. So we're going to do it safely, raise some money, get the mustache curled, or not, you can leave it straight. And of course, once that's over, we're in the Fair Dinkum countdown to Movember, growing that mustache to raise money to help men live longer. Testicular cancer, check them out. No lumps. And prostate cancer, be friendly with your doctor, remember. Physical check only gets 25% of it. So if he's going to only do the rubber glove, you only get to see 25% of it with that sort of digital inspection. So you want to get a PSA check and make sure that you're on top of that. Keep that under control. Keep the list, the log of your PSA count yourself. Don't rely on your doctor. It's you that we're trying to have live longer. And of course, mental health. It's very stressful in this COVID time. Bring on 2021. Don't only ask, are you okay, but listen. It's all about listening. And that'll be a big thing. Sit down and actually talk about things that matter, because life can get you down sometimes, and we want to be able to pick people up, get them on the way. So it's welcome wherever you're from. Last time we had people in from Sydney, Townsville, Ireland, Canada, America, Brazil, and New Zealand, across the ditch there. So no matter where you're from, welcome. Tsinjao, Wan Ying, Wan Yong Hamnida, Yokoso, Sawadee Kap, Mabuhay, Salamat Datang, Namaste, Shalom, Salam Alaikum, Marhaba, Kia ora. And one of the ones that I love best is from the Czech Republic, Ahoy. I feel like I need an eye patch and a parrot on my shoulder, but that's how you say welcome in the Czech Republic. If you ever go there, if we ever get to have an international flight in the next 12 months, who knows? Gosh, it'd be great to travel again and catch up with some of you guys. So we're going to do pub quiz tonight. Yes, we're going to kick off in a moment with our 40 questions. You get 1 point. The rules, you get 1 point per question. And tonight you can get bonus points for guessing the country that the people come from. As I say, knowing people is a very community type thing. You know, are you okay? It's all about, you know, the stress of losing your community as we're in with COVID at the moment. So tonight's going to be a coming together, a who's who. People get jobs through knowing people. Your Facebook, it's nice to have people that you know out there. You can connect with them. Zooming to know people, the people you meet at work, down the shopping centre, your neighbours, that sort of stuff. So tonight's going to be all about a who's who. So get your who's who thinking cap on, and you get 1 point for the correct answer of the who, and another point if you can guess where they come from. So keep a tally, and there's 40 questions, 6 sections, and at the end of every 2 sections we'll be going back and reviewing the answers, and we'll be kicking off with a mystery question. So if there's any questions, if you want to make any comments, then you can just message me. And I can see I've got a little computer screen down here in front of me, and I can see messages coming up there. So welcome aboard. And special thoughts go out to those people in Washington State and Oregon, Northwest, Pacific Northwest of the USA, cloaked in smoke, still over there. The fire's slowly coming under control, but huge forest devastation with all those fires and the smoke. Oh, you can barely breathe. Hope it's killing the COVID virus over there with all that smoke. So let's get on with this, and we'll kick off with the mystery item. Now, this is it. What is it? Interesting shape. Interesting shape. At the top here, looks a little bit rough. Looks like it might have been broken. What is this? What is this item? A mystery item. You get a point at that if you can guess it right at the end. So we'll go right at the very end of the quiz. We'll come back and have a look at this and see if you can guess what it is from our ancient past. Not politically correct anymore, sadly. But anyway, that's life. Things come, things go. So you ready for question number 1 in the section of literature? Literature, who's who? Question number 1 tonight. Who wrote the book The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe? Not 3 separate books, that's one book, just the title. The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe. Who wrote that book? I hope you're off to a flying start. And remember, if you know the country that the author came from, you get a bonus point. Ooh, you can make up for the ones that you don't know. So question number 2, who wrote The Hobbit? Who wrote The Hobbit? What a magnificent book. I remember reading that as a kid, way back there. How are you going? 2 for 2? Maybe you've got 4 points already, you think. Ooh. Question 3. Who wrote The Wizard of Oz? I think everyone's seen the movie, maybe the musical, often playing on TV. Who wrote The Wizard of Oz? Literature, question 4. How are you going out there? Thomas the Tank Engine. Who wrote Thomas the Tank Engine? And of course, TV series, narrated by a very famous person too. Question number 5. Who wrote Charlie and the Chocolate Factory? What a magnificent performance, that movie. The golden ticket in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. The author, please. Last question in literature. Question 6. Who wrote The Very Hungry Caterpillar? Yes, we're doing the classics here. The local primary school has got a mural to The Very Hungry Caterpillar facing the playground. Huge mural, huge caterpillar. How are you going? 6 questions down, 6 authors and possibly 6 countries that these people were born in. And section number 2, who said this? As I say, this is a who's who quiz tonight. Who said this? Who said et tu Brute? Who said that? That's a funny thing to say. I wouldn't say that. My son and wife might say it. Et tu Brute. Who said that? Classic quote, written about quite a few times, and in the odd movie and television show. Question 8. One giant leap for mankind. I think the full quote was, one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. Who said that? Question 9. Whoops, we got these out of order. That was question 9. Question 8, I jumped one. I have a dream. Question 7, et tu Brute. Question 8, I have a dream. And question 9, one giant leap for mankind. Question 10. Never have so many been owed by so much by so few. Who said that? Never have so many been owed so much by so few. Who was the orator of that? Question 11, in Who Said This? Never let a good crisis go to waste. Now this quote's been used a few times, but I'm looking for the original author and orator of this statement. Never let a crisis go to waste. Could be the question of nevers. How are you going there? Question 12. Now, this has got a good story that goes with it. I'll give you the whole quote. Never give in. Never give in. Never, 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 never. In nothing, great or small, large or petty. Never give in except to the conviction of honour and good sense. Who said that? Never give in. And the last question in Who Said This? Question 13. This is the quote. Any boss who sacks anyone for not turning up today is a bum. Now I'll give you a hint. This is a quote by a Prime Minister. True. Quote by a Prime Minister. Any boss who sacks anyone for not turning up today is a bum. Which world Prime Minister made that quote? And that's the last question in our first page of questions, first third. So let's go back and review. If you've got any clarification, remember we're looking for countries of origin here as well. So question number 1. Let's go through this. Who wrote The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe? C.S. Lewis. Clive Staples, C.S. Clive Staples Lewis. Country of origin for the bonus point? England. 2 points up for grabs there. How'd you go? Question 2. Who wrote The Hobbit? J.R.R. Tolkien, way back in 1937. What does a J.R.R. stand for? Well, I'll tell you what it stands for. John Rowland Reuel. John Rowland Reuel. He wrote the book back in 1937. And if you want the bonus point, how'd you go? You want the bonus point? You're going to have to guess. What did you guess? South Africa. True. Born in South Africa. Question 3. Who wrote The Wizard of Oz? What a favourite of mine, The Wizard of Oz. Answer, Frank Baum. Frank Baum. Written way back in 1900, long time ago. And very, very soon after it was written, it was turned into a musical. They were onto that like a seagull onto a hot chip. They knew what a winner was, that's right. Interestingly, it was banned by a few states in the USA and a few other principalities around the world. Why was it banned? Because it had nothing to say. Imagine that. And what does the L for Frank Baum stand for? Lyman. L-Y-M-A-N. Lyman Frank Baum. Baum, I think, is German for tree. Anyway, Mr. Tree, Wizard of Oz. Question 4. Who wrote Thomas the Tank Engine? I think everyone should know that. The Reverend Wilbert Awdry and his son wrote it with his son. For his son and with his son, published. And that was published back in 1945. And what a magnificent set of stories. And it's gone on and on. Timeless, timeless stuff. And where did he live? England. Question 5. Who wrote Charlie and the Chocolate Factory? Magnificent movie. How'd you go there? Roald Dahl. Roald Dahl. R-O-A-L-D. Roald Dahl. 1964. And he's a UK guy as well, for the bonus point. And question 6. Who wrote The Very Hungry Caterpillar? That's Eric Carle, C-A-R-L-E, Carle. Eric Carle, 1969, long time ago written, and he's a UK guy as well. So how'd you go with the bonus points? How many did you get? Did you get 6 and 6? Maybe not, but some bonus points up for grabs there. Hope you did well. And so second section, answers to who said this? Who said et tu, Brute? It wasn't Shakespeare, no, although he wrote about it in his play called Julius Caesar. It was Julius Caesar himself, as Brutus was the man, the last one to stab him and murder Julius Caesar. You too, or you also, et tu, you also, Brutus, as he sunk the dagger in the Ides of March, 15th of March, 44 BC. 44 BC. I think they were printing calendars with 44 BC on them back then too. So there we go. Question 8, I have a dream. I have a dream. How'd you go with that? Famous speech. Martin Luther King Jr. in 1963. Julius Caesar, of course, was, well, you can call him a Roman. I'd take Italian if you want the bonus point. Martin Luther King Jr., he's American. Question 9, one giant leap for mankind. One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. Neil Armstrong on the 1969, and where was he? Sea of Tranquility, he's an American too. Bonus point there if you got Neil Armstrong, American. Question 10, never have so many owed so much to so few. Referring, as Winston Churchill did, to those pilots at the Battle of Britain during World War II. He said it on the 20th of August 1940, and of course Winston is an Englishman. I'll take the UK as well. Never let a good crisis go to waste has been quoted by a few politicians over time, but Winston Churchill again. Yes, Winston Churchill again. 1940 he said that. And there's an interesting story, question 12. The quote, never give in. Never give in. Never, 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 never. In nothing great or small, large or petty, never, except in the conviction of honour or good sense, is another quote by Winston Churchill. Now, the story is interesting about this because this was said in 1947. After World War II, Winston was invited to go and give the speech to the graduating class of Harvard University. Now, this speech is very, very high profile, and everyone came, especially with the man of the moment who had won World War II single-handedly, as Winston Churchill had, and he came over to give the inspirational speech, which normally goes for an hour or so. And he stood up and gave that speech and sat down, and everyone was dumbfounded. Yeah, true story. Check it out. Winston Churchill. 3 Winston Churchills, all starting with never. And the last one, question 13. Any boss who sacks anyone for not turning up today is a bum. Which Prime Minister of the world said that in 1983? Bob Hawke, Australia's very own Bob Hawke. And what was the event? I'm sure you'll know. Australia had just won the America's Cup. That's right. Newport, Rhode Island, after 132 years of taking on all comers. The Newport Yacht Club had lost the trophy, and Australia had taken it off them with the famous winged keel. Alan Bond. What an auspicious event that was. They were very upset because they thought that, I think Alan Bond had said he was going to run over the cup and make a dish out of it. That scared the committee of the New York Yacht Club a lot. So how'd you go with that? Did you get 26? How'd you go? So we'll start section 2, question 14, and the topic is statues. Statues. The question is, who made the thinker? You know the thinker? If you're like me, you'll be thinking of Dobie Gillis. The thinker. Who was the sculptor, the maker of the thinker? Question 15. Who made the statue of David? Who was the sculptor of the statue David? Not going to give you any more clues. You might say David who? You're in trouble if you say David who. You can have a guess at some of these. Question 16. Hans Christian Andersen wrote a story, children's story about the Little Mermaid. And in Copenhagen, out there in the harbour, is a little statue. We know Hans Christian Andersen wrote the story, but who made the statue? Who made the statue, the Little Mermaid? Question 17. The Great Pyramids of Giza. Who made the biggest one? Who made the Great Pyramid, singular, of Giza? Who ordered that to be constructed, sculpted, and for whatever purpose it was there for? I've been inside it. An amazing, amazing piece of work. Huge. Question 18. The Washington Monument. We've seen it, we've walked around it, some of us have gone up inside it, but who made it? Who was the architect? Who was the designer of the Washington Monument? If you're a United States sider, you probably, that's an easy question. I know that. Well, good for you. And you might even get a bonus point for the country of origin. And 19, ho ho ho, comment allez-tu? Bonjour. Who was the architect for the Arc de Triomphe? Arc de Triomphe. Who was the architect? And that's the end of our statues section. So our fourth section, who's who in music? If you love your music, roll your sleeves up. This could be for you. So 7 questions. Question 20. First question in who's who of music. Achy Breaky Heart. Yes, a timeless classic. Achy Breaky Heart. Who sang that? We're dragging out all the classics, I tell you, from the Great Pyramids of Egypt to Achy Breaky Heart. Question 21. Love is all you need. You're saying this is too easy. Well, that might be for you, but for other people, no. If you're into rap, it might not be in your genre. Ah, well, that's trivia. Question 22. Bolero. Just one word, that's all I can give you. Bolero. Who wrote Bolero? What a magnificent piece of music. I've got an attachment to all of this stuff. Question 23. Land Down Under. With a link back to a previous question. Who wrote and sang and made famous the song Land Down Under? Question 24. How are you going? Me and Bobby McGee. No, that's the name of the song, not me and Bobby McGee. No, it's the name of the song. Inverted commas. Me and Bobby McGee. Close commas. There you go. Me and Bobby McGee. Who wrote and sang that? And don't forget the country of origin. And question 25. I want to dance with somebody. Anybody? No. I want to dance with somebody. That's the name of the song. Who sang that? Have you formed a team? Are you doing this with the family? Because there's some strength in forming a team. Question 26, last question in Who's Who in Music. Wanderin' Star. Who sang the song Wanderin' Star in the movie of 1965? Bit of a twist to that one. Wanderin' Star. I was born under a wandering star. And it's not me, not me. Okay, how are you going there? Answers, going back to statues. Question 14, first question in statues. The thinker. That's the statue, the thinker. It's about 6 foot tall. There's smaller ones done, and I think there were about 28 made. It was one of those ones where they made the die, and sadly, the guy Auguste Rodin, however you pronounce that, R-O-D-I-N, Rodin. He never got to see it cast. He made it back in 1880, passed away, and then it was cast posthumously. And the world didn't get to see it until about 1904. So, but what a great statue, what an iconic statue that is. All of them. David, the statue of David. If you're wondering which David, I'll make it very clear by saying he's in Florence. And the answer is Michelangelo. Yes, Michelangelo, way back. This is an ancient statue. 1501 it was made. And what a magnificent piece of work that is in real life. Huge, huge. Great proportion. Now, question 16. The Little Mermaid. Hans Christian Andersen's story, The Little Mermaid in Copenhagen Bay. Edvard Eriksson. Edvard Eriksson. If you're from that neck of the woods, that's an easy answer, I know, but to others, and he's Danish as well. So if you want the Michelangelo, you take him as Italian, and Auguste Rodin, you can put him down as French. So they're the bonus points for those questions. And the Great Pyramids of Egypt. This is probably the oldest one we're going to be dealing with, built between 27 and 2800 years ago. And the pharaoh at the time was Khufu, Pyramid of Khufu, Khufu, Khufu. He was the man that, well, he was God. They called him the God King back then. And the pharaoh that commissioned the Great Pyramid of Egypt. And apart from the sarcophagus in the middle, it's empty. A lot of tunnels, and that's about it. So you wonder why he did it. Sort of like, lights are on, nobody's home. Magnificent piece of work, though. 18, the Washington Monument. What a fantastic monument. Robert Mills was the architect. It was a competition to build something for Washington, George Washington. And of course the construction was interrupted because of the Civil War. It's hard to believe that it's that old, that they started building it before the Civil War. It was only 50 metres high or something like that. You can see the change in the colour of the stones on the outside, where the erection that was there before the Civil War is a little bit darker than the rest of it. 555 feet tall, 900 steps, but there's an elevator now. So if you're like me, a little bit tired of steps, but you can take the elevator. Robert Mills, an American, for the bonus point. And question 19, the last in statues, the Arc de Triomphe, Jean Calgren, a Frenchman, celebrating the French victory at the Battle of Austerlitz. Yes. So there we go. I hope you did well. He's a Frenchman, of course. National monument, and of course they've been used for all sorts of things, even jumping motorbikes up onto it and off it. Imagine riding a motorbike off the top of the Arc de Triomphe, but they've done it. Check it out on YouTube. Who's who in music? I hope this is, well, it's a real mixed bag here. Who's who in music? Question 20. Achy Breaky Heart. Yes, a timeless classic, Achy Breaky Heart. Billy Ray Cyrus. Did you get that one? And he is an American, for the bonus point. Question 21. Love Is All You Need, the Beatles. Too easy. And Love Is All You Need was the first international satellite hookup live around the world. The very first. And it was the Beatles playing that song. And I remember watching it on TV myself. Question 22. Bolero. And it's almost like two words, as if you say it, the Ravel's Bolero. It just goes naturally together. Ravel's Bolero, Ravel, and Ravel is a Spaniard. Ravel. Question 23. Land Down Under was a theme song for the Australian America's Cup, a tilt in 1980, when was it? 1983, yes. And sung famously by Men at Work. And I didn't find out the other day that a lot of Americans thought that Men at Work were American. But no, they're Aussies, they're ours. We're keeping them. Find your own artists. Men at Work. Magnificent song, that. 24, question 24. Me and Bobby McGee, the unsinkable Janis Joplin. Well, she was sinkable, sadly. We lost her far too young, but what a magnificent performer she was. Me and Bobby McGee, Janis Joplin, yeah, she's American. Question 25, I hope you're doing well in this. I Want to Dance with Somebody. I Want to Dance with Somebody. Did you get Whitney Houston? What a voice. Magnificent. Sadly, lost too young to us again. But what a voice. And American is the bonus point. And the last question in statues, no it's not, it's in Who's Who of Music. Question 26, Wandering Star. I was born under a wandering star. With a gravel voice. He won Best Leading Actor in this, knocked off Lawrence of Arabia, Peter O'Toole in Lawrence of Arabia, Lee Marvin. Lead role in Cat Ballou. It's 1965, Best Actor, Lee Marvin. And what a magnificent performance that was, with a real gravel guts voice. Good on you, Lee. And he's American too, and buried at Arlington Cemetery. I visited his grave there. I think he was a Marine. All right, hope you're doing well. That's 26 questions down and potentially 52 points up for grabs. How are you going? So, the last two question sets and the answer to our mystery object. So, section 5, who made this? Who made this? And rather than names of people, who's who, we're going to go for companies. Which company, question 27, made the Tin Lizzie? You might be saying, what on earth is a Tin Lizzie? Well, that's the question. What company made the Tin Lizzie? Had an amazing impact on the whole world, the company in manufacturing. Question 28. Titanic. No, not the unsinkable, the Titanic. What company was the Titanic made for? What line of passenger shipping ordered the Titanic? Hope you haven't been sunk with some of these questions. Question 29. What company manufactured the Formula One Brabham race car? If you're a petrol head, this is your question. You're going to say, oh, too easy. So there you go. Which company manufactured the Brabham race car? Question 30. What company manufactures 747? Isn't it funny how just three numbers can conjure up the image of amazing stuff? Now, you might be saying 747, what the dickens is 747? Is it an address? Well, it might be, but that's not. We're looking for a company that makes a thing called a 747. Not going to give you any clues, but it's sort of like a blue sky answer. Best on the blue sky. 31, question 31. What company makes a thing called a nexus? And I'll give you a clue. A nexus. Hello? 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 Anybody there? How are you going with this? Something a bit different. Who made this? Question 32. Who makes the Telecaster? Now, I know lots of people make Telecasters, but I'm looking for the original manufacturer of the Telecaster. Maybe that's not the right one. No, anyway, who makes a Telecaster? Who's the original company? Lots of copies out there. Who's the original? And question 33, last question in Who Made This? The rocket to the moon. The rocket to the moon. The rocket Columbia, the landing craft Eagle. Who made them? Who made them? What was the manufacturing company that put the whole thing together to have the wick lit, and off it went like a Guy Fawkes out of a bottle. How are you going with that? And you can put the countries down beside them as well for the bonus points. Hope you're working well as a family or a team there. Okay, in the final run, final section, question 34, 7 questions to home. Who am I? Who put their hand in a basket of figs only to be bitten by an asp? No, they're bitten on the hand. They weren't bitten on the asp. They were bitten by an asp on the hand in a basket of figs. Who was that? Who was that? Question 35. Let my people go, and parted the Red Sea. Who was that? Let my people go, and then went on to part the Red Sea. SEA, not SEE. Parting the, not the, anyway. Give it have a talk about it. Question 36. Who was the first man or person, not necessarily a man, all right, it was a man. Who was the first man to break the sound barrier in level flight? I'll give you a hint there, in level flight, not falling like an arrow from great heights. Who was the person that broke the sound barrier? Question 37. If you're exploring underwater, these days you wear an aqualung, more appropriately called a scuba tank, which is an acronym, scuba tank. Who invented the scuba tank? Now, if you're going to be pernickety, you could say there's 2 people involved. Yes, I'll give you a bonus point for the second person if you know that. So there's 3 points up for grabs here, but there is one main person associated with the development and the manufacture of the scuba tank. Who is that, and country of origin? Question 38, 3 questions to go. Who invented the radio? Listen to it all the time, in the car, whatever, all that, but who invented the radio? There's a few people that have collectively put their minds towards it, but who is the person who is universally attributed with inventing the radio? And country for the bonus point. Question 39, second last question. Who invented the telephone? Who invented the telephone? Not the mobile phone. No, not the mobile phone. Anyway, a long time ago. Maybe it's an ancient person's question. Anyway, give it a go. Any answer accepted? Not necessarily right, but who invented the telephone? Last question. Question 40. Who invented television? Yes, that's right, it was invented. It didn't just fall out. It didn't just buy a house and have it standing in the corner. Someone actually invented it, thought of it, invented it, and had it built, and that was a long time ago. Who's attributed with inventing television? All right, hope you're going well. Any feedback there? Knock it up. So, all right then, let's go back and review these answers. And the country of origin, we're going, who made this? We're looking for companies and the countries that they're in. Who made the Tin Lizzie? What is a Tin Lizzie? Let's explain that first. A Tin Lizzie is a T-model Ford. Yes, you can have it in any colour you want, Henry Ford said, so long as it's black. Ford is the company, and the country, yes, Detroit, America, US of A. Hope you did that one well. What company ordered the Titanic ship for their line? It was the White Star Line. White Star Line, Titanic. And of course, that's a British company, UK. Question 29. Who developed and manufactured the Brabham? Well, it's more commonly known as the Repco Brabham, and Repco is the name of the company that manufactured it. Phil Irving, brilliant engineer. We talked about him in a previous quiz. Was the leading design engineer there, and what a magnificent engine. If you have a look at my Instagram, you'll see some photographs of the Repco engine built in a Buick block, alloy block. Magnificent. So Repco, and the country is Australia. Yes, 2 world championships to Jack Brabham. Question 30. 747, not a street address. No, it's an aeroplane. A big one. Jumbo, you could call it. And the company is Boeing out of Seattle, and posted some stuff. Anne and I had a great big tour up there earlier this year. Fantastic place to go for a tour. Boeing, country, America. Question 31. Hope you're doing well in this. The Nexus mobile phone. Nexus mobile phone. Who has the Nexus mobile phone? It's Google. Google, and that's American too. Google. 2 points up for grabs there. Second last question in inventions. Who made this? Question 32. The Telecaster guitar. Telecaster, lots of copies, but only one original, and it's Fender. From right back, Fender have been making guitars right back since the 40s at least. The Telecaster, Stratocaster, sister guitar, Fender and US of A. Last question in who made this. Question 33. The rocket to the moon, the Columbia and Eagle, who made them? Rockwell and Grumman. Rockwell, more commonly associated with electronics, and Grumman, aircraft manufacturer. The two of them together manufactured and designed the rocket to the moon, getting Neil Armstrong up there so he could play golf on the moon and bounce around and do all those wonderful things that he did to amaze us all live on television. So I hope you did well with all of that. 6 questions and 6 bonus points up for grabs. So the last section, who am I, in the Who's Who quiz. Question 34. I put my hand in a basket of figs and was bitten by an asp. Cleopatra. Yes, Cleopatra. Egyptian. Country of origin, Egyptian. Question 35. Let my people go, not let my pickles go. No, that's Veggie Tales. Let my people go, and parting the Red Sea was Moses. Origin? Well, I'll take it that he was Israeli. Anyway, if you got something different, I'll take that, but he wasn't Egyptian. He lived in Egypt, but he wasn't Egyptian. Israel wasn't a nation. Well, it was a nation. Yes, it was, but it was sort of like a mobile nation. But I'll take Israeli. Question 36. First man to break the sound barrier in level flight. That intrepid aeronautical test pilot, Chuck Yeager. Chuck Yeager, ace pilot of World War II, went on to be a surviving test pilot. Not many test pilots, very dangerous job back post-World War II, and he survived, did some amazing work flying the Bell X-1. The Bell X-1 at 45,000 feet, broke the speed barrier up there in the rarefied atmosphere at 45,000 feet. Now, question 37. Who invented the scuba aqualung? During World War II, it was developed by Jacques Cousteau. He's French. You don't get any other country with a name like that. His partner in crime was Émile Gagnon. He was French too, back in 1943. And what does SCUBA stand for? Self-contained underwater breathing apparatus. SCUBA, S-C-U-B-A, an acronym. Question 38, we're in the final rundown now. Question 38, radio. Who invented radio? Well, like most good things, good ideas, it was a lot of people banging heads together and taking ideas and putting them together. Who was the man that came up with the idea and it actually orchestrated the first radio transmission? It was Marconi, of course, and with a name like Guglielmo Marconi, he is Italian, although he ended up spending most of his life in England. But back in 1901, the first radio transmission, and things changed after that. Communication, amazing stuff. It was still a bit clunky back then until they invented the antenna, but things started to change enormously. Communication, we could listen to cricket right around the world with the help of radio. Question 39, second last question. Hope you're doing well. We're on the home straight now. Who invented telephone? The telephone. Alexander Graham Bell. Alexander Graham Bell, and with a name like Alexander Graham Bell, he's Scottish. That's the bonus point. Back in 1876, the telephone. Before then, it was dots and dashes on a Morse code line. And the last question, who invented television? Once again, quite a few people had their finger in the pie, but the man who is given the Guernsey is John Logie Baird. John Logie Baird is a English UK, and back in 1926 television happened, and not only could we hear, but we could see as well. Television. And that brings us to the end of our quiz. I hope you've done well. Let me know what your score is. Put it back there. I hope you got, there's 80 points plus a bonus. There's 81 points plus the mystery item. Let's not forget the mystery item. So this is 82 points. You get a bonus point for this. What is the mystery item? This is a briquette. And you might be still dumbfounded thinking, what on earth is a briquette? Well, it is a brick of et. No, briquette, it's a small brick, et, as in the French. We're doing a lot of that. They're made together like a bow tie, two of them, if you can imagine. Two of them made together at a time and then broken. And these are made of pressed coal to make it, use the coal dust. When coal was king as a source of energy, and you'd buy them in packs or bags and burn them at home to do your hot water or cook your meals in your slow combustion stove. And it was a convenient way for selling manufactured coal dust that was otherwise useless to anybody. And so the briquette was a manufactured use of highly combustible material. And this one isn't coal. This is actually a marketing thing that I got as a kid. You can see in here it's a little container. And so there we go. We'll put it up here with the other items of mystery items. So I hope you've done really well, learned a few things. I had a lot of fun studying it. Like I say, we're doing the quiz because we can't be on the tram together. So it's been great to have you on board. I hope you did really well. Let me know, private message me what your results are. And until we meet next, which will be, I think we'll do this on a regular Sunday thing, Sunday afternoon, after dinner. And so good quizzing. If you want to see me on Quiz Up, you can find me there. But have a great time with trivia. Great to get together and see your face. And don't forget to subscribe. And don't forget to donate to the Distinguished Gentleman's Ride next Sunday. And like I say, find my my Facebook site, Melbourne's Happiest Tram Driver. You'll find the link to donate there. Help men live longer. And if you've got a man in your life, help him live longer. donate. Thank you very much for the quiz. It's been a pleasure being part of your life tonight. See you next Sunday. Be there for quiz number 5, and we're going to have a lot of fun then too. See you next time.